What's going on, guys? Chris here with the Slap With the Goose, bringing you what Legendary has just released with Kong Skull Island's Twitter, which appears to be a teaser for Godzilla King of the Monsters in revealing some key factors in what we're going to see and expect with the monsters that are involved from the Toho universe. So check it out. We're going to analyze them here. As always, I'm Chris here, by myself, analyzing this for you guys so we can see what we can expect from this, what looks like an awesome movie. So, Mike Doherty, just his Twitter, just look up his Twitter, you can tell the dude loves the Toho cinematic universe, and they could not have picked a better person, along with Adam Wingard, who is supposedly doing 2020 Godzilla, the Kong crossover, whatever it'll be called. But King of the Monsters is already looking fucking great. So from what we can tell with Mike Doherty's Twitter, and he has just retweeted one of Kong Skull Island's recent tweets that has Monarch intel on the monsters here. And what we can see here is it's a long scrolling clip of the timeline of Monarch's discoveries. It starts off in like 1915. You can't really read any of that because it flashes past it, and you'd have to really zoom in and get like a good picture quality of it. And unfortunately, I don't have the time necessarily to do that right now. I'm sure somebody will along the way. Some people have of the more obvious ones that you can kind of see when it stops and freezes. But we're going to check out the ones that you can see. The first one we can see is from 1943, the USS Lawton incident. John Goodman's character from Kong Skull Island, I think, was witness to this incident. He served in, I guess, World War II, and the ship was brought down by what we think is Godzilla. I think it's Godzilla. Not much on that. It kind of gets cut off. We already know about that. One thing in particular that we hadn't seen yet was an event that happened in 1952 called the Great Smog of London. This was a weather occurrence in London where apparently eyewitnesses said that giant beating wings caused the wind to get swirled up into a typhoon sort of a pollution. And when they said smog, when this says smog, immediately fans jump at the conclusion of Ghidorah. And fuck, we want Ghidorah back, whether it's Toho or Legendary as fans. But unfortunately, I don't think this was the case, as it says beating wings. And this looks like, from what other things along the line, from what obvious ones stayed out, this looks like Rodan's happening. And we get to see somewhat of the destruction already that Rodan has caused in 1952 here. So the monsters have been active in the world, even though we haven't seen it or heard it, but we've heard it now, and we know that they're active. The next one definitely just obviously confirms Mothra. It says that a giant temple was discovered in China. Dr. Emma Russell and her team follow a mysterious bioacoustic signature to previously undiscovered megalith temple, within which lies a gigantic cocoon, and a quickened heartbeat is detected inside. Wow. So what this confirms is Mothra, we may or may not see her larva stage, as hinting that she's already in the cocoon here. But we have a cocoon confirmed, and we have a giant temple worshipping this moth, which is already staying true to the Toho origin of this monster. Outstanding. Okay, the one we've all been waiting for. 2016. An extraordinary superspecies is discovered beneath the Arctic ice. When Monarch discover an extraordinary superspecies sealed beneath the Antarctic ice sheet, Dr. Vivian Graham leads the effort to build a covert containment and research facility around the dormant creature. Classified fuel notes contain a mysterious footnote. The devil has 3 heads. You know what that fucking means. We get the King of Terror himself, King Ghidorah, confirmed. And it was already confirmed, so any of you naysayers that say that these 3 Toho monsters will not be in this movie, and there's no confirmation, even after you could say that after the Kong Skull Island credits, you're fucking insane. This is confirmed, it's happening, and it is mind-blowingly awesome. I want to see what these monsters look like. I know Mike Doherty teased their cries and their roars on set. We didn't get to hear them, but he had the sound buttons, and I want to see what they look like. I know we got a little hint to it in the Kong Skull Island after credit scene, which I was pleased with. And finally, we have an interesting note that after this was confirmed and people were saying, oh, Ghidorah probably won't be alien. He might be, it's just people don't know. And they want to go for this whole aspect of realism in this, or should I say naturalism, in this cinematic universe they're trying to build off of the Toho cinematic universe here in the Legendary. There's a footnote here that I read when it says that the Monsterverse seems to be going for naturalism in place of actual realism. And naturalism, with that idea, there still is fantasy applied there. The Hollow Earth theory of where there's civilizations below Hollow Earth and there's organisms living in the hollowness of below the Earth's surface is actually a silly concept that has been debunked since the 1700s that scientists laugh at today. And Legendary is trying to use this as realism, this concept of naturalism and the Hollow Earth theory. So one can only come to the conclusion that this is just as silly as having Ghidorah come from outer space. It really is. There's nothing real about this theory, the Hollow Earth theory. You might as well just make them extraterrestrial because this is just plain silly. I don't care what you say. The Hollow Earth theory is just as silly as somebody coming from outer space. So I really think that they could really play into the factor of King Ghidorah's extraterrestrial origins. That's just what I think, and that's just plain facts. Naturalism is silly. This is what they need to go for. And I think they could do it with this origin still if it being found in the ice. We'll see. Keep up to date on Godzilla, King of the Monsters. I wanted to go through this with you guys and show you what we can expect. And already, 2019 cannot seem far enough away because we are going to get some good shit from Mike Doherty. Thanks, guys. Stay tuned. Follow the Twitter. Stay up to all things Slap That Magoo. And slap that motherfucking subscribe button, please. Thanks, guys. As always, I'm Chris. Signing off.